Oh, this game just has that peaceful vibe coming through, 100%. Alright there, I'm Bruce Dwayne, this is Gaming for Mental Health, and we are back with the first tree. Alright. So far this game has just been like, very beautiful ASMR, but if you're not one of these people that like, likes to think psychologically and what the characters are about, this might not be the game for you. For me, it's right up my alley, I'm enjoying it. It's like, it's excellent to de-stress, I'm finding, so it's tickling like good certain cavities in my brain that are nice. Alright, so let's go. I guess now we're in like a springtime forest? This is gonna be your first core memory, right? Alright, let's go. Oh, butterflies instead of birds. Yes, yes. Okay, let's dig.
My teenage years were full of sketching, angst, and trouble.
Okay.
I wasn't popular or unpopular. Maybe just forgettable. I guess that gave me a sense of freedom. So I hung out with crazy kids, doing crazy things, even though I mostly just watched the chaos ensue.
I can
We did it
relate
all.
to some of that.
Put fireworks in mailboxes, hide roadkill in people's garages, break windows of the barber shop in Anchorage. My dad was furious, but he was so busy working he couldn't do much to stop me from going out.
I think being an adult means there's no one to stop you making hard decisions. He had to make a living, and he couldn't be in two places at once.
Come on, give me
Yeah,
another
I
jump.
realize that now. But at the time, I was sure he was more interested in growing his business than what was going on with me.
Oh, I could have came up here. This was a lot easier. ¿Qué es esto? Butterfly plus circle? What do you mean butterfly plus circle? Is that the butterfly? Oh. Are there power-ups now? Up. I lost my power-ups. What is this? Hold on. Outer Lake. Oh, this is turning into a crime! Oh! Here I was thinking it was gonna be peaceful. Is your dad gonna be like a serious? Is he gonna be like... Your dad's gonna turn out to be like... the Zodiac, isn't he? I saw that game. I think I bought it one time. This is the Zodiac. Why is this giving me so much problems? Okay, I gotta focus. Okay, there we go. But I still want to carry these with me. Since they're so useful. I wonder if they have a range. Where were these last level? Alright, let's go see what the cop car's about. Before we head on to our other core memory. Okay, try not to jump. I don't know if there's single jump. Yep. Ah, fuck them. So you were having like rebellious years. It's not that bad. Everybody goes through that. No problemos. And I can relate to that. Like, I had that thing where I wasn't popular as a kid, but I also wasn't like, it's like in the middle, you're average, It wasn't until like maybe like late middle school and early high school where I was like, I don't know. See, the whole thing is like I skipped ahead a few years in like elementary school, so I was with the older kids. And it wasn't until high school that it really hit, because of growth spurts and stuff. And then definitely, like the whole rebellious thing. But I think that's just the phase people go through, whatever, it's just crime.
He was working another late night, and my friends were over, saying how bored they were, and how they had come all the way out to my house for nothing. One of them mentioned how that old, ugly beyond belief truck was still in the garage, and how we should take it for a spin. I was only 15, so I kind of fought it for a while.
Oh, you fucked up your dad's car.
The next thing I knew, we were careening around the mountain path, rocks spitting onto the sides of the cliff, while my dad's cringeworthy bluegrass blared out the speakers. I drove while my friends were in the back of that yellow and purple truck, throwing beer bottles and trash at anything remotely interesting. It felt like I was soaring in the air with borrowed wings. But all good things have endings. I cop outside of Eagle River pulled us over after he saw us in a bottle rocket into someone's yard.
Of course, man. You guys are being
What
stupid.
followed was a long night of talking to disappointed adults and feeling smaller than ever.
I don't know this living situation though. It was like in like a small town or what? We got away with a lot of shit as kids. But again, like I was more like a latchkey kid. Cause, like my parents worked a lot as a kid. Like they really worked. Both of them had 2 jobs at least. And they still found time, you know, to do the whole church thing and like make sure I did homework and stuff like that. Like, that was a lot. And like nowadays, like I wonder. There's definitely been like a thought experiment, like I've had, or thought experiment conversation I've had with friends about how there's certain generations who are being birthed now whose age expectancy is going to be larger. So we might need to start like redifferentiating timetables. You know, with people's 30s, or what was expected of people in their 30s should not be maybe people in their 40s, you know, to settle down and have a family, extended years. Like if somebody's gonna live to be 100, then like in your 20s, you should still be like doing teenage shit, you know, like getting drunk and like going out hiking and doing like dumb stuff like that. Still be considered passable in your 30s, maybe get like your career, your 40s, start getting settled down. Well, most of my peers, you know, like yeah, by their 20s, most of them, I knew like girls in their like mid 20s, and I was in their age too. We're already like looking for marriage and stuff like that. I was like, hey, it's a little fast, but just thinking about that, like as children, like what is acceptable and what's becoming at what age. And depending on the circumstance, like I said, I was like a latchkey kid. My parents worked a lot, so I got away with a lot of stuff. And the police, because I lived in like an urban area, the police didn't really care about kids and the stuff we were doing. As long as it wasn't like dangerous and like we were like in adult settings. So like we were in the park, be like, okay, you guys are out of school. Can you guys go back to school? Thank you. We got a crime to attend to. Just okay. It's hilarious. All right, what are we supposed to do with this? Oh, this game is making me reminisce. That's the whole point of this game, huh? Oh, it's to get this one, huh? Oh, come on, I had it. You guys denied me. Why are these games so strong? I'm overthinking it. That's what it is. I'm overthinking it. Alright, just relax. Take it with us though. I'm gonna go to his dad's car right here. Look at that truck over there that you wrecked. That seems like to be only like visible only by him right now. What's happening here? I'm sure I got more snacks on the surface. I'm gonna lose it, aren't I? Oh! Foxy? Thank you. Parkour. Michael Scott will be proud of you. What was I supposed to do there? Isn't that where I came from? Oh no, I started a new level, that's right. Okay, I'm being stupid as hell. Oh crap. Alright, let's see what happens over here. think we figured out what we're supposed to figure out from this area. Hello? I need 3 butterflies? I can get multiple butterflies? Oh crap, I know what they're gonna make me do. Okay. How do I get 3? Okay, so it's gonna be 1, 2, okay. This game is just like... You know that Rick and Morty part where he was like, this just is like long for slavery. It's the same thing. Same thing. No, you guys stay away from me. I don't want you right now. I want is your friends. Let's see. This game just wants me to reflect, but I never crashed my dad's truck. My dad didn't teach me how to drive to begin with. There? Why am I ducking down? Like I can actually get in there, you know? Like what kind of dump? Oh, this game. Okay, that centers my camera. Okay, then for this one, I just gotta like drop here, right? Yeah. Hello. And I got all 9. Look at that. I'm so flamboyant. Yes.
My friends would laugh about that night and talk about how crazy it was. And I laughed along, pretending it didn't bother me. But it did. I imagined my friends growing old in the bush, unable to find that thrill in those godforsaken ice fields. It's like those mountains were a literal wall, keeping me from leaving, where all I would have to look forward to are lumber yards and evening beers. I had to climb over. That was my only goal for a long time.
Okay, you were limited to where your dad left, okay. Where you felt that way. Alright. Well, we got the butterflies now. We'll get you over that hurdle. This is oddly therapeutic. Damn. Okay, 1, 2, jump. 1, 2, Hadouken! Oh, this is beautiful. Hello. Thank you. So right now we're at your like maybe late teenage years, okay? Dick?
If there was some way I could take my love of drawing and turn it into a way of escape, nothing would make me happier.
Okay. I like this guy.
I wanted to create instead of tearing trees down. I wanted to move to the lower 48, not because I hated it there in Alaska, but I hated the idea of it. It's like all of that spite inside me had created this monster which followed me around my whole teenage years. I put so much energy into doing what others didn't expect of me. Why did I do that?
There's one fact you're forgetting, though.
Self-discovery?
If you didn't have that fire in you, we probably would have never met.
Exactly.
You're absolutely right. Maybe the destination is all that matters in the end. But then why am I awake? Why am I seeing this fox go on her journey? And why can't I stop thinking about my dad?
We're gonna continue on towards the sun. This game is beautiful. It's hitting me in the feels. Is this a hole? I haven't seen caves in this game yet, so wonder. No, it's only like optical illusion from the terrains. Alright, here we go. What are you guys hiding? Oh, are we getting a new chapter? Oh, this looks lush. Oh, okay. Let's go. Get our first 3 stars and we're gonna go back to what we're supposed to be doing. Because we're over here side questing. It's gonna be the first tree? Why am I hearing like tropical birds? I guess this could be tropical trees by the way they're growing. They're trying to maximize, like, okay, never mind. I'm overthinking it over here. Jesus. What is that over here first? You are a three, okay. Joseph. This is the name of that trophy, okay, hello.
Even at my most distant, at the times when I detested him the most, he kept reaching out. For a year straight, he asked me every week when we were going camping. I thought he was just dense. Eventually, to shut him up, I agreed. We carried out the worn lawn chairs from the garage and set up a cinder block campfire at the site we'd always used behind the house. We walked down the mountain path, talking in the warm sunshine we only got a couple months of the year. Those 3 obsidian rocks shimmered alongside the shore, almost like sparklers pressed against a dark window. I'll never forget that wet stone on my feet, or how those massive mountains looked even bigger in the lake's reflection. I felt small, but grateful. As the sun set, my dad found something I hadn't seen for a long time. The tree where I'd made my first carving when I was 6. I hadn't even carved it. My dad had helped me, but I still called it my tree. Something about seeing my name there made me open up, and we talked about everything that night in that old camouflage tent. I told him how much I loved sketching and design, and how it would be a dream to study architecture in Seattle. I told him how I didn't get along with my friends much anymore, but that I didn't mind being alone. He told me he was there for me, and he joked that if all he had to do was write my name on a tree to finally get me to talk, he would have left me carved logs with novels on them in front of my room every morning. I don't know why it took me that long to realize it, but it was then I knew how much he had sacrificed for me.
I'll hold my mouth to the end because this episode got heavy, emotionally heavy.
My dad built a lot of stuff in his free time. If he wasn't watching fly fishing or reading Tom Clancy novels, he was carving something. He made tons of birdhouses. Not that he was into bird watching, but I think he really missed working and adding on to the home. If he couldn't afford the time to build onto our own house, he would have to settle with watching birds move into their little homes. We kept an old mattress in the bed of that ugly yellow truck, so we would drive it deep into the woods and then watch the birds fly into their houses while the sun set. Usually it was accompanied by venison jerky or a cold Coke, but not a lot of talking, which is how we both liked it.
I like that. This episode got deep. I don't know entirely what I'm supposed to be doing for this episode, or exactly what I'm supposed to be like looking out for, but so yeah, this guy had an artistic side. His dad was more practical. Well, that's how it seems, you know. At the end of the day, you know, stuff like wood cutting, carpentry, it requires a lot of artistry. It's a different side of creative, you know. In my experience, like I find it I find it depending on what your style of creativity is, it's hard to see others' creativity come out. You know, like I grew up in a household where mathematics are very important. as well as, like actual design creativity, like being able to paint, draw, sketch, stuff like that. Um, so I can see the creative aspect in like math. It takes a lot of creativity to do hard equations, to figure out problems. It's a different type of creativity than to paint and design and stuff like that. And it's under mist how similar those things can become, or have roots, until you really decide to look into yourself and to other people. And I can understand that because I went through that phase with my dad also, where like he definitely towards his later years cared more about his home, building his house for retirement. And he was at that phase where he was just like, yeah. It was hard to talk to him, but he understood. He already been through some of the stuff I was going through. I just couldn't find a way to open up fully to hear. This game is it's definitely not a children's game. This game will make you reflect. I'm gonna have to make notes on this game. Wow.
We were happiest underneath the evergreens. We decided it was time to finally map out the hundreds of acres we lived on, just to pass the time during the summer. He was only free in the evenings, so I would spend the day wasting time on dial-up internet and sketching, and then we would rush into the woods, pen and map in hand, before evening fell. Sometimes the aurora borealis would cast a cold green glow on the mountainside, and we would finish our route underneath a twilight sky. Sometimes I was lonely during those summer days, but there was comfort in the routine.
A lot of teenagers aren't looking for the daily grind, though. There's nothing wrong with wanting to get out, to leave your childhood home. You wanted to progress, to make something of yourself.
That's right.
Yeah, you're right. That house. I'm sure it's the same as how I left it. Then why does it feel so different?
Because you
I
were
doubt you're
changed.
the only adult to have looked back and asked that question.
Yes, reflection. Oh my god. Self-reflection is one of those. It's one of those tools where every time I talk to a client, like as soon as I can, or they're open. Is that a tiny camcorder? Oh, it's a 1980s camcorder. Look at that. Oh. No. Look at that. Oh, it's nice. I forget the details of this game. But as I was saying, as soon as they're open to that idea, I try to get them into like journaling for self-reflection. Like, people don't understand how much internal knowledge is accessible to them if they just self-reflect. Like, odds are that you already know what you need to do. You just don't know how to voice it or come to terms with it. That's where therapy comes into play, whether it be religion, cognitive. Some people choose, ayahuasca, DMT, but being open to the idea that you will have to go and self-explore, that's the first step. And what this guy's doing right now, beautiful. Oh, this one is the Estrella These stars, right? Still gotta get up there, I'm assuming. It's gonna be my goal. Setting for this, though. Put back at the first tree. Didn't gather much, though. You have to go that way now? I think that's what it was, and I got ahead of myself. So I don't feel like I got anything that I needed for the tree. Yeah, see, I'm back here. Did I get anything for you? It's gonna say zero, right? You know what? That's where we're gonna leave this episode. Yeah, that's a good place to stop. We're gonna go explore that side over there. on the next episode. I saw with some Bruce Wayne. It's been getting some mental health. And wow, this game. Again, don't let simple graphics fool you sometimes. You know, like I think indie games spend a lot more money sometimes on their. Oh, there's definitely something up here. We're gonna leave that for the next episode. Little hidden mystery, you know. I mean, under storyline, plot, even voice actors. So something, you know, something has to fall down, or something has to be like cut back, so it might fall down or reduced. And I think graphics is the easiest thing to do sometimes, and that's what happens with indie games. But wow, this game is definitely not one I would play in my teenage years. Like a lot of this, unless I was doing it for some sort of like analytical essay for school, and I was reading this as a script, I wouldn't put much weight into it. But after, like in this age and in this time, at this stage of my life where I choose to develop my chakras, I'm just kidding. I'm just saying at this stage of my life, it's very different. Because I've been through some of the stages he's talking about. And it's making me reflect more on my life, more so than the game itself. This is like an excellent, like I said, I would say this is a perfect example of a video game becoming what I would call like a journaling prompt. Like I can see myself, or I'm probably going to do this once I'm done with this game, just sitting down and taking time to write down about my experience with this. Because it has brought up certain memories. And this is what I'm saying, video games can be definitely helpful for your mental health if you just allow them to be what they're supposed to be, a medium for imagination and entertainment, and see what bubbles up underneath. You know, what it brings up. Alright, as always, if you found any of this helpful, please come back. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you for the next episode. So we're definitely coming back for this. Yes, more Fox games. Yes, more Fox girls. Yes, yes, yes.